Stephen, you were honest enough to admit that after Tuesday night you have to make your own luck in many ways. You have to sort of hold your hand up if you don't score. But imagine if you play like you did on Tuesday, 9 times out of 10 you'd win the next game. Is that the thought going into Barnsley?
Yeah, probably, yeah. I think it's important to say what happens in the games and be honest. I was honest on Tuesday night. We played really well and did a lot of good things, and the one thing that we lacked was we didn't score when we were well on top and when we should have, and then the one mistake that we made we got punished for. So that was the case. Everybody could see it, and I also agree with what you've just said, that yeah, it's important that we continue to try and play that way, and if we can play as well as that on Saturday and create probably half that amount of chances, then we'll be in with a chance of winning. So that'll be the message, lads. Look, yeah, we could have got better, we could have had a better result and a better outcome, but try and perform the same way on Saturday, and if we do, then we'll have a chance. Yeah,
the league table shows that we score as many goals as most sides in the division, maybe not the ones right at the top, so it's not a problem, is it? Obviously it was on the night, so it's not a case of that there's no belief, that there's no goal scoring power in the team.
No, I don't sense that there's a lack of belief in the squad. I spoke to Richie and Mark yesterday about it in detail, and saying that I just don't sense that there's a lack of confidence in the players. We try things in the final third, we try things sometimes that are not the easiest thing to try, so occasionally it boils down to decision making and then quite often execution of them big chances. But as I said, I'm not criticising anybody. The players are trying the best, and we just have to make sure that we keep performing the way that we are and keep trying to get into dangerous areas. And as you said, we've scored loads of goals as a team this season. I think we've had the most shots in the league out of anybody this season, so that shows that we're capable of creating. A criticism would be that we've conceded too many goals and we haven't been clinical enough with all the chances that we create, so still loads of room for us to improve, but running out of time obviously, and we need to try and make sure we're right for the next 5 games and get the performance right that makes us win.
Yeah, what facts from Tuesday night, the frustration, it's just reduced the margin for error, hasn't it? As you say, time's running out. We can't afford many more slips. It's just got to crack on and try and win as many as possible.
Yeah, and as I say, if we'd have got a result on Tuesday night, whether it be a point or took all 3, I still would have been saying that same things to the players. Like, we can't slip up. It's too important. It's too tight for that final playoff position, especially with teams running around you who are picking up points. Then you can't allow yourself to become complacent. If we were in the top 6, we would be going for it. Now we have to chase, so we understand that we have to pick up points and we don't want to drop it anymore if possible. Now what the overall points tally is going to be, no one knows, and I'd be very surprised if it's straightforward. It never is. There's always twists and turns, so we just have to just continue moving on as best as we can.
Yeah, as disappointing as it felt come Saturday night, obviously relying on another result as well, we could suddenly be back in the top 6. It is still that tight, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and that's what I mean. That's why you have to just keep your focus and not get carried away either way. So that'll be the message to the players, like, let's make sure that we're spot on with our game. We're going into a tough game against the team that the Bolton Wanderers have come up against a load of times over the last few years, a team that we know what they're all about. They've got some really good players, a team not too dissimilar to Rotherham, who find themselves in the wrong part of the division and what they expected because it hasn't gone their way, and yet they'll be motivated, I'm sure, to try and beat us, so we have to make sure that we're ready. Yeah,
it's just unravelled a little bit for Barnsley, but as you say, there's a bit of past history there. We're used to playing them in the playoffs, so it certainly won't be an easy one, will it?
No, it won't, and some of the players that the team have come up against over the last couple of years in them playoffs are still playing for Barnsley, so they will understand that, and they'll understand their strengths and weaknesses and know that it's going to be a difficult game. That's what we have to prepare for, but again, speak to the players about this is what we'll try and do, this is where we feel as though we can get the better of Barnsley and hurt them, because if we play the way we played the other night, if we played the energy that we did and create the opportunities that we did, then we should have enough to score a goal, so keep trying to focus on that.
Yeah, it goes without saying we'll be sold out away at Barnsley. It's the way at this club, and it's a big following at Wigan, which we've talked about, and Bristol Rovers, and it'll be the same again Saturday, and I know everybody wants to keep producing the goods for them as well.
Definitely, yeah, and even on Tuesday night, I think the fans could see that it wasn't a bad performance. It was a performance full of effort. Just lacked a little bit of final product that we wanted, but the effort is going to be there. I promise the fans that from the next 5 games we're not going to give up. The way that they support us up and down the country, here at home, it requires us to give 100% effort, so that's what the players will do. They need to stick a performance in that, again, the fans are proud of. Whether we win or lose or draw, it has to be effort there, and to say that's what I can guarantee.
Will Forrester missed the game on Tuesday, of course, with that injury picked up last weekend. You've had an update on Will, and unfortunately his race is run for this season.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. He's a player who's been really good for us since we came to the club. He's been really consistent, and yeah, he picked up a hamstring strain against Bristol Rovers, and we got the scan results back on Monday afternoon, and he's going to miss the rest of the season, which is a blow that we won't have him again. What it does give him though is an extended period of time to make sure that he's right for pre-season. Sometimes there's a risk of, when you get hamstring injuries and there is games still available, you bring people back in too soon, and then you have a reoccurrence similar to what's happened with Tolley. So at least will have time over the summer to get it right and come back stronger, because I think he's proved to everyone that he's capable of playing in this team.
Yeah, I was going to say, and don't want to put words in your mouth, but there'll be times for Will probably during this season and when since he's been with us that he might not have thought that going forward he'd have a long-term future, but I think he's shown this season in the games that at least when he comes back in the summer he might be more settled in his mind, that he's proved to everybody that he can play a role for this club, as I say, without trying to put words in your mouth, and his long-term future.
Yeah, I say he's a player that we had a conversation with in the first couple of days that we got here, and the 2 games previous that Jules took and Andy took before I came, and I watched in great detail. We said he looks a really good player, and when I had a conversation with him, he's explained he just hadn't had a run of games in the team because of others in the squad had been picked ahead of him and put in the team, and I just explained, well, it's a clean slate for everyone, and people will earn their place on merit, and if you're playing well, and I don't really care who's coming back or who's available, if it's not like, it shouldn't be like that. You pick your team based on what you think is earned, and as I say, Will's played really well, and there wasn't an opportunity, or we didn't feel an opportunity was there to take him out of the team. But with football, these things happen, and he gets an injury, and it'll be time for somebody else to step in and take their chance. So hopefully 1 or 2 of the others can do that.
And just everyone else is okay going into the game from the other night? No other knocks? Everybody's going to be all right?
Yeah, everyone's fine. No issues from Tuesday night. So yeah, full strength squad that we had available going into Saturday's game. So that's pleasing.
Just last one, you just mentioned earlier, just on a wider picture, you say you're going to watch Max Conway playing at Crewe, and at a former club of yours. I'm sure you'll get a warm welcome. He's done really well from what we believe at there this season. Is that part of you looking at everybody within the squad, a young player who's doing good things, you've probably heard good things about him, just to sort of get a handle on everything going into the summer and moving forward? Yeah,
definitely. I spoke to Lee Bell yesterday, his manager, and asked him how he's done. Asked him, is he going to play tonight? So yeah, it's an opportunity for me to get over there and go and watch him live. I know that the club have high hopes for him. He's just someone with a bright future, but when your manager can go and watch him and see if how he's doing, how do I think he can play in the squad next year, then if them opportunities are there, then I should do that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a decent game. Crewe are going well, going up against Cheltenham, so I'll get over and watch it. It's a nice night, so hopefully it's a good game of football.